How John Nave Met Death by S.C. Turnbo. During the turbulent days of the war between the states, if any of the troops of either side fell into the hands of regular soldiers, they were usually treated well. If otherwise, they hardly ever escaped abuse and suffered many hardships. Especially this is true if they were sent to prison where inexperienced officers and men of the overbearing, abusive nature had control of them. There is no question in my mind but that hundreds of prisoners of war on both sides were confined in large prisons, suffered untold misery while in charge of haughty and domineering guards who never knew anything about marching to the front and fighting the enemy face to face. But let it be said that all good-hearted, true, and brave men of either army never were guilty of mistreating a prisoner of war when he was obedient to the rules of war. John Mahan was a Union soldier in the war days and served with Captain William J. Pylan's company, the 46th Missouri Regiment of Mounted Men, and he was captured twice before peace was made. He said the last time he was taken, he fell into rough hands and was ill-treated, which came about along in this way. He said, "I and my father, Isaac Mahan, and P.R. or Dick Martin, Pate Johnson, and John Nave had been going down together from where we lived in Douglas County, Missouri, down to our old homes in Little North Fork, collecting our stock that we had left there when we moved away for better protection. We found about 27 head of hogs that belonged to us and started home with them, and while on our way back we stopped one night where Moss Martin lived on Beaver Spring Creek to stay there overnight until the following morning. During the night, Jim Helms with 10 men swooped down on us and made us prisoners and captured our horses and equipments. They stripped us of our boots and hats and overcoats and sent Dick Martin, Moss Martin, and Pate Johnson at liberty. It was Christmas Eve night in 1864, and the weather was cold and the ground was frozen, but the sky was clear of clouds and the moon was full. The enemy, who were irregulars, made me and my father and John Nave go down with them to the creek, and we were forced to walk on the frozen ground in our socked feet and without hats and coats, which was rough treatment, and we suffered with cold, but we dare not complain. While they were robbing us, one of the men put his hands in my father's pockets and took out a Barlow knife, a silk handkerchief, and $1 in money, which he kept, of course. When we got some distance down the creek, John Nave, seeing that they intended to kill him, made an attempt to escape by running, and the helmsmen fired at him as he run. They pursued him and overhauled him in a gully or deep swag in the ground, where Nave begged hard for his life. But it was a waste of words, for they shot him to death with shotguns about 100 yards from the road. It was a critical moment for myself and my father, for I really believed that I and him would have to meet death there too. But after they had taken us further down the creek, and having made me trot on the frozen ground in my sock feet a while, they released both of us and told us to go on our way. Now, John Nave is buried in the Cowskin Graveyard on Cowskin Creek in Douglas County, Missouri, where his brother Abe Nave is buried.